Let's say you just inherited $10,000 from a long lost uncle, or perhaps you won $10,000 from a scratch-off ticket. How would you build a watch collection for $10,000? What would you do? I'm Mace and this is Mex, and we are the Watch Game. In this episode, Mex is going to build a watch collection totaling up to $10,000, and he's going to walk us through his thought process.
So what up, Mace? Let me tell you about where I started this. Okay, so first of all, this would be if my collection blew up and I had that money, this is what I would buy for myself, right? And so what I would recommend to almost anyone else. I looked at buying only pre-owned watches. Okay, so my budget is taken directly from Chrono24. I looked at modern watches. I looked at watches that were 2010 and newer. And then mechanical pieces. So I didn't look at any digital pieces like a Casio G-Shock, which could be part of any collection, but we're just not going to focus on that here. I think there were really two ways to go here. You could pick a big boy piece and then kind of two or three smaller pieces, okay? Or you could pick three really great pieces, and that's the great thing about 10K, Mace. 10K leaves you a good amount of room, particularly if you're buying secondary market. So Mace, the headliner of this collection is going to be the Speedmaster Professional. So reference 311.30.42.30. This is the Heslite crystal and the solid case back, so not the sapphire sandwich. But as you can see, you can have this watch sub $4,000. Okay, it's a true classic of horology. Looks great, especially on that metal bracelet. And it's a strap monster, right? So you can dress this up and down however you want. I think that would be the focal point of the collection.
I like how you went hezzy there.
Yeah, well, Mace, it's more for a budget. It's a budget concern. You know, I own a sapphire sandwich, but and you probably need another $1,500 for a sapphire sandwich, right? So this gives you the 100% of the aesthetics of that classic Speedmaster at a really great price. I mean, this price is amazing. So Mace, my love of complications, and specifically world time complications. So I had to add something like this to the collection, and there's been a lot of positive buzz lately about Frederic Constant. I think it's building momentum, but you get an in-house world time movement, okay, for $3,200. Okay, this is amazing, right? To have this type of complication in your collection. Now, okay, they have different colorways. I picked this brown one because I'd like to see the watch brown.
I drew the duck blue because I've never seen a blue duck before, and to be honest with you, I wanted to see a blue duck.
Well, it's an excellent blue duck.
But you can take, there's green, there's blue, there's white, all different types of colorways. So aesthetically, I think the brown looks really good, but also taking into account the other pieces in the collection, I think this will really kind of stand out and have its own place.
I feel like we've talked about world timers from Frederic Constant in the past, and it's no surprise to me that you went in this direction.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think about this Swiss in-house movement for under $3,200. Absolutely amazing. So Mace, the next piece I went with was the Nomos Tangomat Date. So this is reference 602. I think we all know that I really like German brands, and I really like Nomos. So this has an in-house DUW 5101 automatic movement. It has that Bauhaus design aesthetic that Nomos is known for. At 38 millimeters, this is a very wearable watch as your dress watch, as your everyday office watch, work watch, a beautiful display case back to share with your friends who are watch geeks like you are. But I think really this is a great piece to pick up at this price point. When you look at sub $2,000, you can own a Nomos with an automatic in-house movement.
As you mentioned, you love your German watches, did a couple videos early on. Have a Nomos, right? You've got
I do.
the
I have a
event
Nomos World
bay.
Time.
So no surprise here that you would go with a German watch with your last pick.
But it's not my last.
Ah.
Because we have some change left over. Okay.
All right.
And so we talked about the Nomos Tangomat Date as being potentially your everyday watch, your beater, even a beater watch. I think every collection needs a true kind of dive watch, a watch if you want to wear it in the shower, if you want to wear it in the pool or at the beach. You can do that without worrying about if sand's going to screw up the mechanism, if water's going to get into the watch. So I picked the Seiko Prospex Paddy Diver. It's referenced SRPC 41. You could find on Chrono for about $500. It's just interesting because it has that kind of gradient dial of the Paddy Diver that I have. It has that very kind of characteristic Seiko Pepsi dial, like the SKX, right? Reminiscent of the SKX. And again, for $500, you can beat the hell out of this watch. It has it's kind of like a mini turtle, right? It has a little kind of fatter case. So you could beat the hell out of this watch and not even think twice. I think every collection needs a Seiko.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I know you rely on Seiko quite a bit for traveling. So not a surprise you want Seiko.
So, that's it. So Mace, 4 watches for $10,000. You have some sports watches. You have some dress watches. You have a hot horology complication in the World Time. So I think that the key takeaway here is that $10,000 is not a small amount of money, but with that amount, you can really have a very robust, versatile collection.
Yeah, think about this. You've got an icon, right? A horological icon in the Speedmaster. You've got the World Timer, one of your favorite complications. You've got the Seiko Diver. And then you've got kind of a dress watch in the Nomos, right? You really have pretty sweet collection there.
And Mace, so you mentioned, it's a good point. And I think a lot of folks, they want to check boxes. They want to say, hey, I have a dress watch, I have a dive watch, I want a pilot's watch. But when we look at this collection, right, in its totality, it does check a lot of boxes for someone's really day-to-day life.
Those are Mex's picks. If he inherited $10,000, what would you pick? We would love to see your picks in the comments. And if you like this content, please subscribe and like this video. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.